welcome to one of our couch sessions. I have Kailey-Michelle with me from Kailey-Michelle Veenstra.
Hello.
And I am Ashley Ferreira from Dragonflight Photography. And we are mostly here because we just want to have an open, raw conversation with vendors and clients and couples, just everybody, so they can get a feel for things that, you know, sometimes just don't come up.
Yeah, for sure.
So we came up with a theme. Actually, Kailey came up with a theme. I hate it when, and there is a lot when you start thinking about weddings. So I will let Kailey lead off with that.
Sure. All right, let's just start with one that is really heavy on my heart. I hate it when the bride and groom are in it for the wrong reasons.
Absolutely.
A lot of times I meet with couples and I start asking about themselves, and they don't want to talk about anything about how they met or how he proposed to her, you know, the things they like to do on Sunday. And it saddens me because I want to know the couples and I want to know their love story, because as a planner, my greatest joy is being able to take that love story and translate it into their wedding so that it sets their love story on fire.
You know, if you're having a nautical themed wedding and you've never been on a sailboat, that's probably not a good fit. Yes, it looks cute and adorable, and, you know, having anchors on placemats can be great, but, you know, maybe you need to reevaluate. Maybe you need to see where, you know, your passion lies with your relationship and pull strings from that.
And that happens, that people do anchor weddings or nautical weddings and they've never been on a boat.
Absolutely. And I feel like Pinterest has kind of killed that, because now it's like, oh, that looks cute. I think I'm going to add that to my wedding, even though we have never been on a farm. We don't really like a ranch.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of hay, but you know what? We should get hay bales.
On our website, on Kailey-Michelle Veenstra's website, if you go into the galleries, you know, I created a little mini promo video that talks about the details that our clients use. A lot of people come to us and think that our main focus is the aesthetics, and while we attract a clientele that loves details, I wanted to share that every one of those details had roots and meaning, and there was a reason why we chose that.
Or they're heirlooms.
Exactly, they're family heirlooms, and personally I think family heirlooms should always steal the show.
Oh yeah,
above everything else that, you know, you bring to the table. But it's just so important that those details and the things that you choose, whether it's the flowers that you choose because your dad always bought them for your mom on Sundays.
Just
you
look back looking at your wedding photos or your albums and showing your kids that, you know what, we have peonies here because, you know, your father after work on Fridays, he would always bring home mom. He would always bring mom home some peonies.
Yeah.
Or, you know, having, like for me, my dad used to always bring home cream soda for my mom, and that was his whole thing. He'd always go out after work. He used to smoke, so he used to go get smokes. Shame on you, Dad. But he'd always go out, and if he went out, he'd always bring back my mom like special cream soda. So that was always their thing. So maybe that's played a role in your childhood, and at your wedding. One of your things is having cream soda in a cute cup with a cute paper straw. And you know what? That has meaning. And your parents are gonna love that too. It's special.
It's so true. And for me at my wedding, I used teacups because my grandma, that was her thing. She collected teacups, and I remember all the cousins, they just thought it was so fussy, and I always wanted to drink from grandma's teacups. And those are the teacups that were at my wedding. I didn't go scrounging at Value Village to find teacups. I used my grandma's, and our ring pillow. You know, you see a lot of these crafty ring pillows and stuff. Mine was crafted, but it actually contained a Bible that reflected our faith. It contained a list that when Dave and I were going through a rough time, we wrote out all the reasons why we wanted to make it through, why we wanted to get through the crap to get to the good stuff. And then on top was the notebook, the story of the notebook, and because that really is a testament to our love story. We come from two very different worlds, and we felt like the entire world was against us, and so those three things were bound up. But there was a reason for it. I didn't just go onto Pinterest and say I want something crafty and I'm going to use that.
And that's not knocking, you know, the couples who go and do the search, you know, they go through the thrift stores, they want the vintage antiques. And maybe it's just because, you know, bringing an heirloom is risky to a wedding. And maybe just finding another source for that. So, you know, that's not what we're talking about. We're not saying don't go searching for it.
No.
Just make sure it has meaning.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Another point that I absolutely hate is as soon as you bring the topic up that you're engaged and you're having a wedding, suddenly everybody has an opinion. And all of a sudden it's, well, you should do this.
Yes.
You should not do anything that you both don't want to. And it's not my wedding, it's our wedding. I really want couples to remember, it is about both of you. It is not just the bride. It is the bride and groom.
That's my dog, sorry.
Sorry, that was like a, you know, cameo by Guinness.
You're in my home, so.
He was agreeing. He really liked that point.
You do have parents that want to contribute to the wedding financially, rather than just asking them how much they want to contribute, try asking them if there's an area that they would like to contribute to.
Which is brilliant.
Yes, and then what you do as a bride is you choose the area that you're a little bit more comfortable being flexible with. So I always sit down and I work with the 3 most important rule. What are the 3 things that are the non-negotiables in your wedding? Don't give them one of those 3 things. Give them something else.
Yeah.
If you know that the flowers are super important to you and the dress is super important and the food is, well, let her choose the venue.
Yeah.
Parents love choosing the venue. They think it is like, that's the pinnacle.
She is giving you gold nuggets right now, so soak this up. Like, take notes.
You know, so give them one of those things. So sit down as a couple. What are those 3 things that are the most important to us? And then give mom and dad something else.
And then going from venue, figuring out the decor and your theme for your wedding.
Yes.
And now I feel like we've become part of a culture that is all about details, and you see it with the publications.
Oh, of course.
They publish one portrait of the couple, and then it's like 50 details.
As a photographer, you probably hate that.
I feel that. You know, I'm a girl who loves details. I'm detail oriented.
Yeah.
When I was in school, that was where I strived. And you know, I love having personal touches, especially if they make sense.
Yes.
I'm not about bringing in pretty fluff. I want it to make sense for the couple and be about them and their relationship. And I feel like with the dawn of Pinterest and publications, it's straight away from marriage. I wish there was more blogs that would talk about relationships. You know, how cool would it be if Style Me Pretty decided to do a column on, hey, here's some tips for your marriage. You know?
Abby, are you hearing us? You should do that, honey.
Just a couple. You know, remember, whatever wedding you have, it'll be beautiful regardless. It's not about the wedding and the decor. It's about your marriage.
Yes.
You are saying I do to somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with. You have found a teammate. This is huge. A lot of people make it through their whole lives, and that doesn't happen. And I think we forget that.
It's so true. The adventure begins the day after you say I do.
Yeah.
I can remember waking up. I tell you, the process of getting to the aisle for me was absolute hell. It was so great. I mean, God taught me so many lessons, and I've definitely learned from it, and been able to pass on that advice to my clients. But the morning after, when I woke up, I remember this feeling, and I thought, I'm married, I'm somebody's wife. Like, it hit me.
Yeah.
And I remember just waking up with the hugest smile on my face and that feeling. I can't even explain to you, but I want you to have that feeling. And if you're so focused on everything else than the marriage, you might miss that feeling because you're going to wake up trying to recall all the things that went wrong. So we were thinking about how we could kind of, you know, end this on a fun note. And so we thought of each time we get together, we'll end the conversation with kind of just a random question of the day. So I had an email question that I'm going to share from a bride that had asked me. But here on in, we want to say to you as brides and vendors, if you have a question, email either one of us or just put a comment below. And
Absolutely. And if you want to remain random, or if you're a vendor and you want to put your brand out there and say this is what you have to say and we can be your voice, heck yeah. If you want to come hang out on the couch, come on.
Yeah. But the random question today is more of a personal thing. We wanted to give you an opportunity to ask us personal questions. So it doesn't have to be wedding related at all. So the random question is, how do you de-stress with your significant other or spouse? So do you want to
Sure. So our new thing is we just bought a hammock. Shout out to Costco. We have an apartment. We don't have a lot of space, which I know is a situation with a lot of young couples. And on our patio, we set this hammock up. It has its own little stand thing. And seriously, we've checked out from watching TV. And if it's decent weather, we go and sit on our patio on the hammock, and we have awesome conversations. Yeah, that's the new thing that we do. The other big thing that we do is when we can, we really like trying different wines. We love doing the Soyuz wine tour every year, trying to go out there and do the summer run. Shout out to Hester Creek, love their stuff.
Yeah, the Hester Creek is good.
Yeah, and they have an awesome venue. Hey, if you were looking for a wedding. Plug, you're welcome.
But you know what, like, I like that you said the hammock thing first, because I think a lot of times people, you know, what can we do this weekend, or what can we do to de-stress, and they're constantly thinking about the big things, or going out for dinner, and you know what, a lot of those things cost money, and especially when you're planning for a wedding, you're saving every penny that you can, and so you can't necessarily be doing the things that cost a ton of money. Dave and I recently cut cable like entirely, cut cable, and it was like the best thing we ever did, because I was really nervous, and not that we watched a ton of TV, but just the concept of like disconnecting. I'm already the person that only listens to Christian music, and so I never know what people are talking about, and now I'm going to be the person that doesn't know what anybody watches on TV. So I'm really going to be the loser. But anyways, but for him and I, you know, we've always been it's the little things type people. For us, on any given day, we make sure that we make time to go for a walk together, even if it's just around the block, to take our dog for a walk. Every single morning we get up, even if it's super early that I have to leave for whatever, he gets up with me early, and we make coffee. Well, he makes me coffee and breakfast every morning, no lie.
You're gonna make Berlin jealous.
Sorry, I have the most amazing husband in the entire world. I'm just gonna put that out there. But we make sure we have coffee every morning together, and actually communicate, and that's like that moment, and little things like that. We will go to Starbucks together, and even if it's just sharing a coffee, just to sit down and do something that, you know, is not distracted by a million other things. Go get in the car.
Yeah.
Sometimes we will drive and we have no idea where we're going.
We do that. We're huge drivers. We both have a huge love for cars, and that is one of our things. Where if it's a sunny day, a lot of the time we go adventuring. Like before one of the weddings last summer, we were on the island, and because Berlin has a 4x4, we went up a logging road in Souk just to see if we could get to open water. Just there is no way to get to open water without being in the inlet. That's a side note. But yeah, adventure.
Yeah.
Seriously, try new things together. Yes. It's always exciting.
Establish date night now.
Yeah, even if you're not vocally saying it, but realize when you need to connect and come back.
Yeah.
We usually, every once in a while, you know, when things are just plugging really hard, we'll go, you know, I feel like I haven't connected, you know, with you in a while.
Yes, it's so true. But all those little things, because the question was, how do you de-stress? And so the point that we're trying to make is that it's the little things that de-stress you. It's not about running away to have a huge vacation, or you know, the biggest things is turn off your phone.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Turn it off. And if you're an addict, remove your apps from your phone for the weekend. If you're going to be that tempted to check Facebook every once in a while, you know, every hour on the hour.
You are a vendor, and you have been in the industry, and you like what we're doing, and you just want to come be a part of it. Email us. We would love to talk with you and ask you questions, because I'm sure you could give us golden nuggets.
Sure.
Or maybe you are starting your own feed on videos, and we can, you know, correspond with each other through video.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to us, Gab.
Yeah. Hope you tune in next time. We're not sure how often we'll do this, but we'll see.
We'll kind of base it on the feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe if you have questions for a next episode, or brides, you want to be anonymous, but you want to ask some really hard questions, you can ask us. We've been through a lot of weddings.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Candice, and I'm my mom's assistant. I'm the best wedding planner assistant in the world. I'm bored.